welcome to the deep dive.
Oh.
Today, we're jumping into, well, the fascinating and sometimes, let's be honest, pretty chaotic world of parenting hacks. Our mission, really, is to pull out those strategies that genuinely work, the ones that can save your sanity. And just as key, figure out why some popular ideas, the ones that sound amazing, often just fall flat.
Right.
We've looked at research, real parent stories, trying to give you a shortcut to what's effective. Because parenthood is demanding, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't want things to be a bit smoother, maybe have a few less meltdowns.
It's so true. We're all looking for that simple trick. And the sources we're diving into today, they really show how some simple sounding ideas can be incredibly powerful, make a real difference.
Okay.
But they also help us see why others, even though they seem appealing at first glance, just don't work out in practice. So this deep dive should help you figure out what actually helps, looking at, both sides.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start with the good stuff. The hacks that, based on what we found, actually deliver. Practical tips, sanity savers.
Yeah, think of these as like the low-effort, high-reward strategies, the ones that survive contact with actual kids.
Yes. Okay, first one, the snack station hack. So the idea is setting up a spot, parent-approved snacks, kids help themselves, supposedly promotes independence, cuts down on the constant, Mom, Dad, I'm hungry, chorus. Sounds simple, but wow, solving that sounds good.
It really does. And a key thing here is how it taps into a child's natural desire for a bit of control, for autonomy.
Right.
When you meet that need, but within safe boundaries you've set, it cuts down on power struggles, builds their confidence too. Plus, it takes one constant little decision off your plate as a parent, which honestly saves so much mental energy.
Oh, I feel that mental load drain.
Okay.
Okay, next, the shoe bin by the door. This one sounds almost too basic to be a hack. Do you think people overlook stuff like this?
That's a really good point. Often the simplest things are the most effective just because they're easy to actually do. And people underestimate the stress of those tiny daily frustrations piling up. Frantically looking for that one shoe 5 minutes before you have to leave.
Ugh, yes.
Every morning.
Exactly. So a shoe bin tackles that, turns that little bit of daily chaos into, well, a moment of calm. Clean your floors too, maybe.
Definitely a bonus.
Well,
Okay, moving on. Timer for transitions. Our sources say setting a 5-minute timer helps kids mentally switch gears, say from screens or playing, and cuts down on meltdowns. The clever bit seems to be that the timer ends the fun, not the parent. It kind of depersonalizes it.
that's the genius of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like externalizing the authority. The kid isn't arguing with you, they're responding to this objective thing.
I see.
It teaches them self-regulation, predictability. Kids actually thrive on that. It just makes transitions smoother, less of a battle.
Makes sense. And then letting kids help, even when it's messy, like stirring the cake mix or sorting socks.
Our sources admit it takes longer, definitely, but they really stress how it teaches responsibility, gives kids a sense of purpose. It's hard to resist just doing it faster yourself, though.
It is, but this really lines up with child development. Kids want to contribute, feel capable. So yeah, it might be slower right now, but the long-term win, that's their competence, feeling like they belong, learning life skills. It's bigger than just getting the task done quick.
Building character, not just cleaning up. Got it. Okay, last one in the works category. The race against the clock cleanup game.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah, can you get all the Legos in the bin before this song ends? Our sources called it magical for motivation. Anything that makes cleanup less painful sounds like magic.
It's pretty smart tapping into that natural kid energy for play, for competition. Turns a chore they dread into a fun challenge.
Right.
So instead of nagging, you're inviting them to play. It shifts their motivation, makes it feel more internal.
These are great. Small changes, big impact, less friction.
Yeah.
Okay, but now, let's talk about the other side. Those ideas that sound brilliant, maybe look great on Pinterest, but then in reality, they just flop.
Exactly. The ones that promise a lot, but often just lead to more frustration. It's good to know why they usually fail so you don't waste your energy.
Okay, first on the flop list, DIY reward charts that need 10 stickers a day. The idea is motivation, right? Good behavior gets a sticker. But the reality, parents forget the stickers, kids get bored, everyone gives up after 3 days. I definitely tried something like this. Total fail.
Oh, that's super common. The problem is sustainability. These complicated systems, especially ones that need you, the already busy parent, to do something multiple times a day, every single day, they're just hard to keep up.
Yeah.
The intention is good, sure, building habits, but the method often just collapses. Real change rarely comes from, such a high maintenance sticker system.
Okay, next. Hiding vegetables and everything.
Mm.
Spinach brownies, zucchini and muffins. Sounds
Yeah.
clever.
Yes.
But our sources contrast that with the toddler giving you that look, like, what did you do to my brownie?
Yeah.
And they suggest, teaching kids about healthy food, getting them involved in cooking instead. So no more hiding broccoli. My kids sniff that out anyway.
They have a sixth sense for it, don't they? And yeah, you're hitting on the difference between tricking them and actually teaching them.
Okay.
Sure, they might eat that one hidden veggie once, but it doesn't build a healthy relationship with food, doesn't teach them anything. Getting them involved, even if it's messy, that builds understanding, acceptance.
Uh-huh.
They feel some ownership over what they eat.
Right, makes sense. Okay, how about elaborate morning routines from YouTube? You know those videos? Perfect 10-step color-coded charts.
Oh, I know the ones.
Yeah.
Often set to cheerful music.
Yes. And our sources contrast that with the actual reality of just trying to get everyone dressed and out the door without forgetting, pants. I always wondered how those perfect families managed it.
It's so easy to fall into comparing our messy real life to someone else's perfectly edited version, isn't it?
Totally.
Look, routines are good, structure helps, but super complicated ones, they often just add more stress. They don't account for, life. A kid having a meltdown, spills, whatever. Simple and flexible usually works better than trying to be perfect.
That feels more achievable.
Yeah.
Okay, what about screen time as a reward or punishment? Our sources called this one tricky. Using it like currency might work short term, they say, but long term it just gives screens more power, leads to endless negotiating. Better to have clear limits instead.
Yeah, this is a subtle one. When you use something as a reward or punishment, you automatically make it seem more important, more desirable.
Oh, okay.
So when screens become the prize or the thing taken away, their value just skyrockets in a kid's mind, makes them harder to manage later. It's not just about avoiding fights, it's about not accidentally making screens seem like this amazing forbidden fruit. Clear, consistent rules, that helps kids learn to handle tech as just another part of life, not this huge deal.
That's a really interesting perspective. Okay, finally, the ultimate flop, according to our research. Doing it all yourself because it's faster.
Ah, yes, the parent trap.
Totally. It is quicker, easier in the moment, right?
Mhm.
But doing everything for your kids constantly leads to parent burnout and, entitled kids. I think that one hits home for a lot of us. It's so tempting.
It's such a classic trap for busy parents, but that immediate efficiency, it has a really high long-term cost.
How so?
Well, it stops kids from learning, from growing, from contributing, and it drains you, the parent, while making them more dependent. Real efficiency in parenting, like the long game efficiency, that comes from teaching them, letting them do things, even if it's slower right now, builds self-sufficiency down the road.
Right. Investing the time now pays off later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've hit the highs and lows, but we also found a quick round of extra bonus hacks from parents. Little practical gems.
Yeah, the small wins that up.
Like frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Batch prep for school lunches. Genius.
Simple, effective, cuts down on morning rush stress. Packing lunch is just one more thing.
Totally. Or using painter's tape for indoor hopscotch. Rainy day fun, no mess. Clever.
Gets them moving, being creative, even inside. And no big cleanup after. Win-win.
And storing bedtime books in a basket beside the bed makes winding down simpler. Anything for an easier bedtime.
Promotes their independence, lets them choose, makes reading feel like part of the routine, collaborative, not just lights out.
Yeah. And lastly, give choices, like red shirt or blue shirt. Avoids power struggles, gives kids some control. This feels like fundamental.
It really is a cornerstone of positive parenting, honestly. Offering limited choices empowers them, reduces the no reflex, makes them feel involved.
Right.
All while you're still guiding things, turns a potential fight into, teamwork.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, a key takeaway from everything we looked at seems to be, no single hack is universal. What works wonders for one family might totally bomb for another. And that's okay. Parenting, the research reminds us, is this mix of strategy, flexibility, and just being willing to, try something, see if it works, try something else if it doesn't.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought for you to consider, reflecting on all this. If real success isn't about rigidly sticking to hacks, but more about experimenting thoughtfully, adapting things to your family, your kids. What does that mean for how you approach advice going forward?
Hmm.
It suggests maybe the real hack isn't finding the perfect trick, but actually focusing on understanding your kids and yourself a bit better. That deeper understanding might be more valuable than any quick fix.